Who's the more clutch finals player? Would you go Kawhi or KD?
Kawhi, it's not close. Look. Look. KD, I have seen, this is why KD needs to leave Golden State. Here's the argument. I'm saying he needs to, but here's the argument for him to leave. When KD was on a very talented Thunder team, they went into Oracle late in that game. He didn't do so good. Neither did Westbrook, but neither did KD. I mean, the team, they had a chance to get over the hump, couldn't let a team, and did it. Same season, next series, I was at both Game 7s. Stephen A. and I saw each other there. Both Game 7s. I knew those were going to be important. Flew on my own dime. I didn't want to go as a member of the press. I wanted to go as a fan, and I expected Golden State to win the chip. Couldn't get it done against LeBron. They got it done against KD. Then I see KD show up in Golden State. Right, by the way, and yeah, they were babies when they played in the finals against LeBron and them. They were babies, I get it. But that was some babies like KD, Harden, Westbrook. How many MVPs you need on the same team?
Not Greg Popovich, I'll tell you that.
No, that's true.
It's not Greg Popovich made the greatest coach.
That's right.
Time.
But that redounds to the players' credit and benefit. Like Tom Brady wasn't going to be the greatest quarterback ever without Bill Belichick, but he had Belichick. I'm not comparing their natural talent. I'm not comparing their height. I'm comparing the players they actually are. Now, look, Kawhi was a baby before. Stephen A. religiously makes the point. Kawhi's never really been the focal point, the man, until right now. But even before he was the man, he won Finals MVP. And now he gets to Toronto, and for the first time, you are the man. And now let's look. We can't compare their careers. KD's had a better career, may retire with a better career. I'm talking about where they are right now, and how they've played under pressure in the biggest games in their career. And Kawhi Leonard, KD, hold on. Here's the big difference. KD has balled out in the finals. Always single coverage, when he couldn't lose, when the defenders couldn't leave Steph and Clay, the two greatest shooters who ever lived, right? Under those circumstances, KD goes crazy. And he may be a clutch player in addition to that. Hold on, Stephen A. But Kawhi, these whole playoffs, including the finals, is facing double teams and traps, and the whole defense is schemed around him, and he still gives you the most pivotal game of this season so far, the Game 4, that was the pivotal game. Kawhi gives you what? 36-12 with 4 steals and no turnovers?
Time out. I'm extremely disrespectful.
Professor Kellerman, you're embarrassing yourself. And I'm going to tell you how. Because you just finished saying you're not talking about resume. You're talking about right now, this year in the NBA Finals. How can you compare the two when Kevin Durant hasn't played in the finals yet?
He's played in the finals in his career.
You're talking about more clutch. You said you're talking about right now. The fact of the matter is Kevin Durant hasn't played. The last 2 times we saw him in the finals, what'd you see? I saw Finals MVP. That's what I saw. I don't know what you saw. I don't know what you saw. I think that Molly pointed out how, when Clay and Steph couldn't get it done in Game 3, how Kevin Durant said, just give me the damn ball. Why are we playing around and drop 43? I saw that. Now, I saw Kevin Durant when he was going against LeBron James, and when LeBron James was averaging a triple-double. Kevin Durant averaged 35 and 8 first go-round. I saw that. I think I saw that. Now we take into account Kawhi Leonard's resume. In the finals that he was MVP, he averaged 14 points. In the finals that he was MVP, the same thing that you want to hold against Kevin Durant in terms of his supporting cast, he had Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and those boys, okay? He wasn't even a top 3 offensive option at that time. His basic thing was go out there and play defense. Now, he scored plus 20, or 20 at least, the last 3 games of that series against Miami.
Did you know he averaged 14 points, Max? Did you know he averaged 14 points?
I sure did.
I know you're big analytics. I know you're big analytics. I'm just making sure.
He was like 12 years old when he played in those finals.
You just compared Kevin Durant and the baby OKC.
Oh, to see what I'm saying? I'm going to. That's what he wants to do. That's a strategy, but he's not working.
Yes.
Here's the deal. So Kawhi Leonard gets the MVP, even though his assignment was basically defend, and we get all of that, right?
Best player in the world.
Right? Then they go 67-15 the next year, 40-1 at home. They get bounced out in the first round. They go to next year, they go to the playoffs with Kawhi leading the way. They get knocked out by KD and OKC. Then last year, he only plays 9 games because of the injury. So now is what we're seeing from him now, which he's absolutely fantastic and deserves our respect and our credit. But this is really the first time, and the very first time that he's here with him as a vocal point, Kevin Durant ain't available.
That's not
But you're going to sit up there and say, we're going to sit up there and say what Kevin Durant did.
I'm going to knock down every one of those points in a minute. Go ahead.
Please, go ahead. Go ahead, Jay.
Max, I just feel like you're really hard on the Kawhi Leonard train, and it's fine to be that way. I mean, look, he's a legendary player, and there's no doubt about what he's been able to do in the playoff run. But I do say, like, you use the argument sometimes about the baby team when he was with San Antonio, even though you just see. So you contradict yourself multiple times.
I gave him credit for the fact that they were babies.
You did not get down
You just used it against them.
No, I said, albeit they were babies, yeah. But when Kawhi was with the baby team, he won Finals MVP, right? Like when he was a baby.
No, Kawhi
was a baby.
Kawhi was a baby.
Right.
His team was grown men and the greatest coach.
Right.
Kevin Durant was with the team of babies.
By the way, four-time champions at the time.
Right.
He was on a team with champions with 4 rings.
All I'm saying, now, I just think you're drinking the Kawhi Kool-Aid really. You're swimming hard. You're swimming really hard.
Let me go at this. First of all, I'm not talking about KD. KD may be a clutch player. Like, let's see, now that he's in his prime, compared
be a clutch
to the way he was
You're so
in
disrespectful
OKC.
on this man's name, man.
In OKC.
You are one
I'm not boys with him. I know he's your boy, but
first off, I don't care who's my boy.
Okay, good.
James Harden is my boy. I wouldn't allow you to be disrespectful on his name.
Yeah, that's what I mean, because he's your boy.
All these guys are my boys. I'm cool with everybody.
But does James Harden choke under pressure or not?
He has not done well under pressure.
Okay,
yes,
fine.
I'm
Fair
real.
enough, fair enough.
I'm objective too.
I'm not saying you're not real. I'm not talking about dudes who are clutch when the deck is stacked. What I've seen is KD win his Finals MVPs when there was no way his team could lose because they were the most talented team of all time. That's not what I'm looking for with dudes like this. I'll take you back in the day, like do the knowledge on somebody, right? Like watch them. I watch Kawhi when the deck isn't stacked, when they might lose against the Sixers, Embiid Sixers. I watch them
against the one of the best teams in the East the whole year.
No doubt. I'm not saying you have
the whole year.
Jay, you have to be on an excellent team. All the teams are excellent, but the Warriors, when KD won MVP, were the most talented teams ever, right? Then, when he's single covered on the most talented team ever, he wins MVPs. When they can't lose the series, he wins MVPs. I'm talking about when you might lose.